Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We're back with our friend and hypnotherapist, Tracy Clairmont Verland. Excited to have her here. She's also a life coach from Montana, but she offers these healing hypnotherapy sessions, worldwide. Also in person if you're in the Montana area. But we want to welcome her back to the show today. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here again. Would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself and company before we begin today?
Sure. My name is Tracy Clairmont, and I am a hypnotherapist and a life coach. I can most easily be reached via my email, and that is hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com. That's hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com. And I am in the process of having a website developed. It's not quite up and running, though. I can't wait to announce that when it's happening.
Exciting. Well, in the meantime, we can reach you again there at the email and phone number. And are you on social media?
No,
I forget. I always
no.
ask. I'm sorry. That's okay. No need to be. But it's also just an extra plug for your business, which after the website, you'll have a link to social media. I'm sure they're going to make you do that. It's for the
Right.
best. All right. So, what did you have in mind for us today? What did you want to focus on?
I would love to go into an explanation of the difference between mental health therapy, hypnotherapy, and life coaching. So sometimes it can get a little bit confusing, yeah, and
Yeah.
people might not know exactly what they're wanting or needing. So I thought, I know in the past I've touched on it a little bit, but I haven't really gone in depth into what each one can provide a person. And I am somebody who um, is a licensed mental health therapist as well, so I have a good understanding of the differences between the three. So I just thought I'd kind of expand upon that and talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll start with mental health therapy. I am a licensed clinical social worker, which allows me to provide mental health therapy services. That is specific to the state of Montana. I'm licensed in the state of Montana, so that's not a service that somebody can just provide worldwide. It's specific to the location that you're in and the licensing standards of the state that you're in. So I do provide that service in Montana, and to be a licensed clinical social worker, there are degree requirements. So I have a bachelor's degree in social work from the University of California at Berkeley. And then I have a master's degree in social work from Eastern Washington University. And then after graduation, I received the supervision required and did the testing required to become licensed as a mental health therapist. So mental health therapy is a medical intervention. It works with the conscious mind. And it's a process where you go into a mental health therapy appointment and they're going to assess you. They're going to diagnose the mental health issue. You do treatment planning with the client that focuses on goals and objectives and therapeutic interventions that are going to be applied. You, you review those periodically. That's the process of mental health therapy, and you're really looking at symptoms and diagnosis, and you're identifying triggers that contribute to the issue, and you kind of peel away the layers of the onion, so to speak, to get at the experiences that that are related to whatever mental health issue you're experiencing. You process trauma, you teach coping skills, you provide support. That's a definition from my perspective of mental health therapy, and it is considered a medical intervention. With hypnotherapy is considered an alternative to medical intervention. It falls into the category of natural healing because it's a completely natural process. Being in a deep state of relaxation is a completely natural process. So for hypnotherapy, I am certified through the International Association of Counselors and Therapists, which means that I have completed the necessary amount of training and practice experience with supervision, some with supervision, some without supervision for practice hours. that qualifies me for certification with hypnotherapy. With hypnotherapy, you do have the ability to practice on a global scale. It's not just specific to your state. And different states, you can be licensed for hypnotherapy. Some you can, some you can't. Some offer it, some don't. But it's really an alternative healing process. So with mental health therapy, you're working in the conscious mind. With hypnotherapy, you're working in the subconscious mind. And, hypnotherapy is a beautiful thing because sometimes our conscious minds really want some kind of change, but our subconscious mind just is not on board with that.
Oh, and you
healing.
feel stuck. You feel like you're stuck in a pattern of hell, can I say? Or, yeah, it's usually hell. It's usually a bad thing that you're stuck. Yes. Our thoughts, our behaviors,
Well,
our
and
patterns.
then you start having feelings of failure, right? Like this is a matter of willpower. And then you start to be really critical of yourself, and that's never a good thing. So it is important for our subconscious mind to be on board with the change that our conscious mind wishes to achieve. And hypnotherapy is an avenue for that. So again, it works in the subconscious mind. You generally spend less time in the healing. I appreciate mental health therapy. I do it all the time. Working in the conscious mind is a process and it takes sessions. In the subconscious mind, you can see impactful, meaningful healing and change in much fewer sessions with impactful results. So, you initially talk about what the issue is that you would like to experience differently, what the issue at hand is. It's an interview process that I do with people. I really want to know what it is that you wish to change. And I really want a picture of what does your life look like without the problem? And that's an interesting question, or people receive that in interesting ways because a lot of times they have a really hard time talking about what it would look like without it, because they're so used to talking about what it is with it, that they haven't even really thought like, wow, what would it be like to not have that issue? Really shifting their thinking. It's the beginning of a shift in thinking to what their life would look like without the problem. And then I do talk a little bit about a person's childhood, but we don't have to go in depth consciously in an interview into past experiences. That's really not necessary before a hypnotherapy session because we're going to get all, to those things in the subconscious mind. So we have an initial session talking about the issue. What does life look like without the problem? And then the next session is the hypnotherapy. And it's just a peaceful, natural process of guided relaxation. All you have to be able to do is listen to my guidance and follow what I'm guiding you into. It really feels good. It feels so good to relax our nervous system and just go to this place where we can access our subconscious thinking. So I am the guide. And then once we are there in that deep state of relaxation, we together act as like an investigative team, so to speak. And we go back into those experiences, the very core originating experiences that set this issue into motion. And it's regression, that's what that's called. You regression to cause, and you look at the scenes that have happened in that person's life that have set all this into motion, what it's really related to. And sometimes in our conscious mind, we might think we know. Very often, we go back to events and things that have happened that we don't even have a conscious memory of. But it's all there, and that's and our minds know exactly where to go to. Our brilliant minds know exactly what originated this issue, and it just brings it up when you're in this beautiful state of relaxation. And the conscious mind is there, but it acts as an observer, and it is an interactive process where when you're in the hypnotic state, you are describing the scenes, and then we're making connections of thoughts and feelings from that scene that are impacting you today. We make connections and we do the healing around those thoughts and feelings. And then at the end of the session, we do, when your mind is in a beautiful state of relaxation, it's open to suggestions, positive suggestions. So it can receive those positive suggestions without all the blocks that our conscious mind puts in there. So you're then left with a recording, a self-hypnosis recording of those positive suggestions so that you can listen to them. I ask that you listen to them for a period of 21 days because one of the rules of the mind is that our minds learn by repetition. And it feels good too to be drawn into a relaxed state and hear positive suggestions. It's all a very peaceful process. And I ask you to listen to that for 21 days and, feel the impact of those thoughts and emotions having been healed and released. It's really quite a beautiful process in my opinion.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that is healing with hypnotherapy. And then with life coaching or lifestyle coaching, that is again a process of the conscious mind. And the way I do life coaching, and I'm sure people do this differently, people provide different services, but I always approach it from the perspective of meeting the client where they are, like hypothetically speaking, or metaphorically speaking, excuse me, meeting them where they are, meaning when they come to me with an issue, I just talk to them about what it is they're struggling with and what it is they'd like to achieve. I meet them wherever they are in regard to their need. So one of the things I listen for are opportunities to help somebody organize their thoughts so that they can organize their lives. A lot of times our thinking can be disorganized and overwhelming, and it creates this feeling of chaos for us. And feeling chaotic and disorganized in our thinking is not a safe feeling. It doesn't feel good. So I always approach it. I try to offer, reassurance. First off, that people can get through anything. Human beings are remarkable beings, we're resilient and we can achieve so many things if we can get past our fears.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can meet challenges in a relaxed body, when our nervous system is relaxed, our bodies physically function better and our minds think more clearly. So I always try to offer a sense of safety so that a person can express their thoughts and needs in a calm manner and really do some good thinking around what they would like to see in their lives. And that, that sense of safety, that safe environment really helps people because a lot of times people don't really feel like they have safe people to go to talk about their lives or their thoughts or their goals. And when I say safety, I don't mean it just in literal terms. Like I don't have somebody safe, meaning if I go to that person, they're gonna, beat me up or something like that. I mean safe to share with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even a good friend might think that they're a safe person to share with, but if they have any kind of flavor of judgment or criticism, or I don't know if you should do that because our friends are great, but they're often full of a lot of advice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that advice is not helpful.
No. Yeah.
Sometimes that advice can put doubts in our mind, even further doubts about whether or not we can actually accomplish things. So I do my best to provide a safe environment that boosts people's sense of security and then offer helpful guidance within that energy of safety so that they can feel free to express their thoughts and feelings and talk about their hopes and dreams and goals and what a fulfilling life looks like for them, right? And people come to me for all sorts of different um, different life coaching goals, and I enjoy helping people through transitions in life. You know, if
Mhm.
somebody's going through a divorce and they need somebody who can provide objective, helpful, supportive guidance, I appreciate doing those kind of things. Um, Sometimes people come to me with loss issues. Oh my goodness,
Mhm.
loss, grief and loss is such a difficult life transition to go through.
Wow.
Now, unfortunately, there's no easy way through grief. I wish there was. I would literally bottle it up and give it away to people if there was an easy way to move through the grief process. Um, so, you know, you will still go through those. Even hypnotherapy is not something that is recommended to take out the steps of the grief process, right?
Yeah.
Because you feel the emotions and you get through to the other side. But it feels very good to have kindness and compassion and support and guidance. A lot of times your thinking is just so messy because you're caught up in grief. Those are kind of things that a life coach or a lifestyle coach can help with. And I have done that with lots of people before. And then there's other things. Again, the array of things is limitless in my opinion. If somebody wants to talk with me about parenting, say they're feeling lost in parenting. Oh my goodness, parenting is not easy. I know that from my own experience. And there are definite different parenting curriculums and self-help books and lots of things out there. But I mean, there is no one guide.
One cookie cutter
Um,
fits all. No. Yeah.
there just isn't, and there's all sorts of different issues that come up in parenting. And sometimes you just need somebody to say, you know what, you're doing a great job. This is hard. You know, I
Yeah.
have struggled myself with parenting. Sometimes you need somebody who, again, takes out the judgment and provides the support and then offers some suggestions. Why not? Maybe you could try this. Maybe you could try that. I know that the Circle of Security parenting curriculum is a parenting curriculum that I have taught in the past. And one of my favorite things that it teaches, and it's research based through their
Mhm.
program, is that you only have to get your parenting right, like 100% right, 30% of the time. So you only have to be on point with your parenting 30% of the time to raise healthy, functioning, beautiful human beings. That statement alone was such a relief for me in my own parenting because I'm like, okay, I can hit that mark. I can do it right 30% of the time. I was trying to do it right 100% of the time. And I was feeling like I was failing, but I can do it right 30% of the time. Even just information like that
Mhm.
can be really empowering to people. So when I do coaching with parents, or yeah, with parents around their parenting, those are things that I talk about and I look for.
Got it.
So yeah, and then just increasing self-worth, increasing self-confidence, empowerment, even spiritual enrichment. I love working with people in regard to those things, and the ultimate goal is achieving a fulfilling life and experiencing joy within our lives, whatever that looks like for them. They're the ones who define what that looks like.
Yes. Well, by the way, we got to remind everyone, Tracy, how can we reach you before we continue?
My email address is hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com. That's hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com.
Perfect. All right, let's continue the conversation. And by the way, as we were talking, the station did send over your notes, but we're covering everything the way you wanted to anyway. But I apologize, I got them so late. But you're doing a
Well,
thorough job. Thank you so much, and you're so sweet. You mentioned this is a steep learning experience for you, and a curve for you. You would never know. You're doing great. So I mean, we all have our insecurities and our fears. And is this something like new to you, like publicly talking in a platform like this? Is that what you
Oh
meant?
my goodness,
Is
yes.
this
So,
okay? You would
yeah,
never know.
just so everybody knows, in the email that I sent to you, Jill, I had offered gratitude. I always try to offer gratitude. I so appreciate you, Jill, and I was saying, I appreciate your patience because this is a steep learning curve for me. I've never done podcasts before. I love it and I'm enjoying it. And
You
I'm so
talk to
grateful
people
for
for a
it.
living. You're helping so many people for a living. You do this, you have a gift of doing this each and every day. I guess it's just different when you have a light on or a camera on for some people, but you would never know. So your secret is not safe with me because now, I don't know how many millions or thousands of people listen to this, but seriously, because now your secret's not safe. It's out, but no one
Aw.
would ever know. So you're doing a fantastic job. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for that. This process has actually caused me to um, put into words what I do every day, which is a different experience
Yeah, it's
for
not
me.
easy.
And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I can mention, that, oh, I'm a mental health therapist, or I'm a hypnotherapist, or I do life coaching. But when you're asked to specifically describe things,
Yeah.
it's a great learning experience for me. Again, when I'm working with people, I'm always reminding them that, and I practice what I preach, that growth is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If it wasn't uncomfortable, then it wouldn't be true growth, right? Because growth is pushing ourselves beyond our comfort zones. And this, what I'm doing here with you, it's an example of my own personal growth, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity. And I offer gratitude every day for the opportunities that I have. And when I start to feel fearful, I take that as a sign that I need to move forward into it. So we
Mhm.
all have free will in our lifetimes, at moments when our inner voice, our soul is pushing us into discomfort, we still have free will. We can say, no, 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 I don't want to do that. I'm just going to stay over here where I'm comfortable and keep going here. Or we can move into that discomfort and push into it and see where that growth takes us, see where we're meant to go and follow our intuition. I also do my best to follow my intuition and move into opportunities that are presented to me. And that's, in lifestyle coaching, that's a lot of what I encourage people to do as well. And I always remind people that I practice what I preach, that I understand that it's not always an easy process, but for our personal growth, our soulful growth, it's so, so very important.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We still got 2 minutes left of the show. Tracy, how did you want to sum up today's conversation?
I would just like to reinforce the fact that I am here and available to people. I would love to be a part of people's journey and growth. It's what I truly love to do in my work. And again, I can be reached via email, and that's hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com. And my name is spelled Tracy. And I just invite you to email me and talk about anything that you would like to
Great.
do. Any growth.
Thank you again. And one more time, tell us the number. We can reach your email address.
The email address is hypnowithtracy@yahoo.com. And Tracy is spelled Tracy.
Perfect. Thank you so much for breaking things down for us a little bit today and helping us understand. And just to point out, now the life coaching, right? You could do that with anyone around the world virtually.
Yeah, correct.
The mental
Family
health
history.
therapy services. Are you limited to certain states with that?
Yes, absolutely. I only am able to practice mental health therapy in the state of Montana. That is not something I provide over Zoom or to people who are outside of the state of Montana. Those are licensing limitations. Hypnotherapy can be provided over Zoom wherever, and as well as life coaching.
Perfect. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. All right. Looking forward to the next time we connect. And great job. And website coming soon, folks. Don't forget,
Right. Yeah,
Tracy. Yes,
coming
the
soon.
website will be there soon. All right. Have a great day. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. And to all of our listeners and viewers, stay tuned. More of the show is coming up after the break.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.